Okay, so in this video I'm going to give you an introduction on how to use EFT yourself. One of the main things to understand, which goes against most things you've probably been taught before in any sports psychology or personal development world, is instead of focusing on the positive, actually in this instance you're going to focus on the unwanted thought, emotion or event. Because as you're focusing on this and talking about it, you're going to be tapping on the various acupressure points, and as you're tapping on these points, actually it helps you resolve these unwanted feelings, thoughts or emotions or event, whatever it is. So it can take a little bit of getting your head round, getting a bit used to it, but that's okay. You'll get the hang of it. Once you start going, it'll become quite natural. And this is the beauty of when you'll know how to use it and when to use it, because when you're using it yourself, when you're feeling that negative or unwanted thought or emotion, that's when you tap, and you don't have to think of what to say, because you'll just be able to tap on what's going through your head at that time. So let's get back to the basics. So when you first start, you start on the side of your hand, just tapping, and you just set up how you feel. Okay, so you say, even though I'm feeling, and it could be, let's use anxious as the example here. I'm feeling anxious about my next game. That'll be your example. I'm feeling anxious now. And as you're tapping just to acknowledge how you feel. You don't want to brush it under the carpet. You're not hiding it. You're acknowledging that that's how it is. And there's nothing to be ashamed of or embarrassed about or worried about. There's no shame in saying it. You're tapping it to acknowledge it and let it go. So you'd say, even though I'm feeling anxious about my next game. And then you could go on, I'm feeling really anxious. What if I don't play well? And you run through all the things that might impact that are contributing to you feeling anxious. The scout's going to be there. My mum's watching. The coach is watching. I need to perform well, otherwise I might get dropped. I don't want to lose. Yeah, all these things. Oh, it's embarrassing if I lose to this team. Whatever it is. And then at the end you say, but I deeply and completely accept myself anyway. And then you repeat this 3 times. Even though I'm feeling anxious about my next game. Really anxious. I'm feeling it now. And you might even notice that you're feeling it somewhere in your body. Maybe butterflies in your tummy, in your chest, in your shoulders, or maybe it's just in your head. Let's say we're feeling it in our tummy. I've got butterflies. I'm feeling them now. This anxiety. Too much anxiety. I deeply and completely accept myself anyway. And then you'd say it one more time. Even though, for all this anxiety, really worried, really nervous, so nervous about my next game. Okay? Carry on as to how you're feeling, what's running through your head. Deeply and completely accept myself anyway. And bearing in mind you want some, not anxiety, but you want extra adrenaline, you want to be sharp, you want your reactions to be okay. You're about to play a game. Of course you do. But it's the excess that we want to address here, the negative thoughts, the too much anxiety, the what ifs that are creating the self-doubt. Okay, and then you tap through the points. Feeling anxiety. Feeling this anxiety. Too much. Too much anxiety. All these thoughts running through my mind. All these thoughts running through my mind. Distracting me from my game. Distracting me from playing well. Causing all this self-doubt. Feeling it now. All this self-doubt. And then you'd carry on tapping around the points, talking about what's going through your mind, what are you nervous about? What's there? What's contributing to it? And then it might even think, actually, you know what? Don't ignore any events or any past events that both pop into your mind. They're not random. Suddenly it might pop up. Do you remember that time? Yeah, it might pop into your mind, that last time you played, or that time you played, 10 years ago, and oh my God, you were so nervous, and you felt like you'd made a fool of yourself, or so-and-so, somebody said something, or your coach really had a go at you, or, something, you got dropped from the team. If that event comes into your mind, that past event, you keep tapping on that, say, oh, yeah, that time it happened, I remember it now. You can remember how embarrassing it was, or how bad I felt. Oh, it was awful. And actually, I've never really played that well since, or something. Maybe not quite that dramatic, but it might well be. So you just keep tapping through the points. And then keep checking in with yourself, with that anxiety, because that's what you're here to address. And if you notice that you yawn or have a deep breath, which I've just done, it means something's released. Okay? Something's shifted. So just check in with yourself. Do you feel anxious anymore? Because maybe something else has come up. Maybe you feel embarrassed. So then you'd keep tapping on that. Or maybe another unwanted negative emotions come in. And that's fine. You just keep tapping on the things that come up. And this could last for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, half an hour. Depends how much time you've got. But don't be shy, and don't be surprised as well if you get very emotional. I know times when I've done it, I could be tapping on something, and before I know it, I'm crying my eyes out because something has come up that I wasn't necessarily expecting. Totally unrelated to what I was tapping on originally. Okay, so just be aware that this is very powerful, and it might just bring up old memories or thoughts or feelings. And then when you've noticed it has shifted, that's great. Then, if you wanted to, but you don't have to, you could start tapping on the positive, or something a bit more empowering. So, for example, and this is a good one, especially if you're about to have a game or a match or a training session. I've got this excitement. I've got this extra excitement, this extra adrenaline. I can feel it. I want it. I enjoy it. It's going to help my reactions. It's going to help me run faster. It'll help my awareness. It'll help me have more fun. Maybe it's excitement. Maybe it's a good time to see how well I can do. Be excited for this opportunity. Let go of that self-doubt. That's anxiety. And really embrace the moment. Be clinical. Convert. Do all the things I need to do. All the things I know I can do. It's my chance to shine. And I'm excited about it. Breath in. And there you go. Even after that short example, I feel so much lighter and brighter. So see how you go. Please leave a comment below. Let me know how that was for you. Very powerful, really effective, and whether it's 5 minutes or 15 minutes. Personally, if you're playing or you've got competition coming up, I'd be incorporating this into your daily routine. Just notice what's coming up to really make sure that you're not carrying anything that's going to hold you down. Okay? And whether it's 5 minutes a day or 15 minutes a day, set aside the time to do this every day. It's fun. And it'll just help lighten you, lift your spirits, and help you play better. Okay? Hope you enjoyed that. And like I said, let me know how you get on.